at one with the heat dust. His shield has lost its bright gleam, and those who follow no longer trust that he's the man he once had been. The telling of his fame, the chanting of his name was breaking him apart because he did not feel the emptiness in his heart. Did not feel the emptiness in his heart. Like the sound of rolling thunder, your distant past calls out your name. Who you once were is going under. You don't even try to change. Gotta try to change. I can see all you've been surviving. On a path of rocks and stone. You chose the horse that you've been riding. It cost you everything you own. It will keep you in its grip. From the first days to that sweet kiss, it's such a deadly kiss. Such a deadly kiss.
Hey now, everybody, Sunday night. That's the date. No, it's not the date, it's the 21st of December, so we're getting close to Christmas. Happy holidays, everybody. Tarnation TV here live at Super Sundays at the All-Star Racing League. We're race number 6 of 8, so we only got a few of these left. You know, that's 3 full races to go. This is, of course, one of them. Brian Rawson still holding on to top spot. We'll talk about points in depth a little bit, but that'll be, you know, very close competition we've had up to right now. He got ahead a little bit. We had a bunch of ties going on last week as far as the overall points were concerned, but Rawson pulled ahead after last week's race. Either way, my name is Blaine Donovan, joined by the one and only Ron Weston.
Yeah, and as you were talking about the points there, last week they came in tied for points. Carlin Oaks kind of kicked off his top 5, we'll call podium finishes, and I think he finished 5th last week or something like that. Brian Rawson, who he's tied with, ended up being the winner last week, so that put him back in the points lead. So it'll be interesting. Carlin Oaks is only 9 behind. As you said, you know, we got 3 more to go, counting this race here. You know, Randy Waugh, Brian Wolf, Ken Roberts, Dennis McCarthy, I think they're still within striking range, but they've got to get starting on getting the podiums in there and hope that Oaks and Rawson kind of have some bad luck.
Well, and the thing is wins, right? I mean, here you get extra points for winning, and then there's a 2-point gap to second, and then a 3-point gap to second. What was that? I know.
Yeah, I think it's 5 more for first, and then it gets a 3 points, and then it drops down 1 or something like that. Yeah.
Yep, it's 40 points for first, 35 for second, 33 for third, and then 32, 31, 1 point gap for everybody else. So winning is a big deal, and getting second, you get that 2-point bump off a third. Plus, if you lead a lap or lead the most laps, those are 1 point for leading one, and then of course 1 point for leading the most. So the winner will always guaranteed at least 41 points technically, because you're going to lead at least the last lap. So a big deal, man. I mean, and when you look at the stats, when you got Rawson's got 2 wins. The only other driver with 2 wins is Denny Carroll, but he's back there in 10th spot because he's only got 3 starts.
Yeah, and it, like they got to get going on it. But I was just looking at the count of cars. I think when we had last week 16 cars or something like that. This week we're up to 18. So that's good. It's growing. It's getting a little bit better. But yeah, Denny Carroll, I mean, he still could have a chance at maybe winning the championship. Had he been kept on his roll of winning, he had won 2 wins. He was, you know, batting 1,000. He had 2 races, 2 wins. Unfortunately, last week he was one of the ones that get kind of caught up in some of the melee, but you know, still finished the race. But you know, that kind of hurts. You got to keep finishing up front there if he was going to try to make up that time.
That's consistency, though, right? Because these points setup is so tight. If you miss a race, it's hard to get back into it. You know, and going forward, like Rawson started every race. All these guys that are in contention have started every race. And you really need to get here, or hope somebody has a couple of catastrophic failures to be able to catch them.
And we've seen that. I mean, we watched Rodney Sullins. I think it was a couple of seasons back. He'd not finished 1 race due to a transmission failure, and he had 1 race he didn't even come. And he literally had the opportunity to win it. Unfortunately for him, you know, our scheduling went so that we had a weekend with SMO, so they decided to step it back a week. And when they did that, that took Rodney out because Rodney was going on vacation.
So speaking of having a race with SMO and having them have to push it back a week, that's happening again. Because SMO has us doing a race on the 4th. And that's the final race, was supposed to be. The final race in this season was set to be on the 4th. And I thought SMO books us up so far in advance. I thought it just bumped in perfect. It's actually not. This season ends on the 4th, so they're actually going to push it 1 week.
Yeah, and that was nice of Brian to do that. I mean, that's a scheduling. I want to say it's a scheduling conflict on our part, but that's not me. It's a scheduling conflict on you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. And luckily for us, Brian is, you know, cool about it. And he was like, "Yep, we'll just, you know, we'll kick it back in the 1 more week after that." So
because I love having this stuff broadcasted. And it's SMO will always have their big events broadcasted. So in the situation, the 4th is the New Year's Dash and Bash, which is their no damage, no yellows, just the only rule is to win.
And I don't even know about that. Because you had John Wall last time, not even worried about winning. Whoever was the leader was his target. I mean, I think that was probably one of the hardest races that there was 2 races that we've ever had to call. Luckily for myself and Andrew Miller, we only had to call one of those races because we were part of the other 2. Then there was the 3rd race at the end, which both of us were up in the booth with you. But it was one of the hardest races to call because, somebody would be leading and then they'd go after him, and then the next lap oh, wait a minute, he's not leading anymore. I mean, it was cool. We did good with it, but it was so much going on. Every lap that could change that. It kind of made it interesting for us. I enjoyed it still, and it was fun to watch with them guys. Just basically, not go out there and have to worry about the stress and all that of the points or anything. It's just a fun race. Kind of, I guess you can almost say, wreck the leader is the name of the race.
Yeah, and a ton of fun. And those guys always they welcome everybody with open arms. So if anybody wants to join that race on the 4th, I don't know if Brian will run a fun race here or encourage these guys to jump over there, because that would be cool. I think they're running the Xfinity 17 mod. I'm pretty sure that's the Sunday mod that they use. So it's a different mod, but it's definitely SMO's been around 20 years plus. They got all their stuff together. Just hit the website.
There's only like 8 or 10 cars in it. Can you imagine 40 cars doing that? Oh my God, we wouldn't even we wouldn't be able to keep up. You'd definitely have to put the ticker with the thing on the side of it.
Yeah,
we wouldn't know who or what, where, or when.
No, and that's cool. Like our relationship with ASR is cool because I go, oh man, like SMO's got us booked for the 4th, and Brian's like, yeah, that's fine. We'll just push it ahead. One week, you're like, okay, sweet. So
looked over at the broadcast. You got everything out there: the ASR race, the All-Star race. We've got the RTG, we've got SMO, we've got Maverick Cup. I don't see any RV there yet in there for Monday. You guys have got to come check it out. Our Tarnation TV Turbo. Watched Blaine, myself, Milt, my buddy Rick, Robert Spring. Literally make fools of ourselves trying to get the RV to Route 65.
It's a lot of fun, that game. And in the link at the description below, you'll find a fresh link that will start tomorrow around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as 4, 5, or 6 of us kind of hang out and try to get our Winnebago out of the forest using physics, trying not to blow tires up and trying not to damage the RV and making sure to smoke a whole pack of cigarettes. And, it's, like I said before, it's probably one of the chillest games I've ever played, and it's just fun to just hang out with a bunch of people for a couple hours on Monday. And we, doing it knowing it's like more of a scheduled thing now. Like we came up, like Rod had the idea, like why don't we stream it? I'm like, yeah, cool, do it on Tarnation TV Turbo, so it's a little less professional looking than this. And if we happen to swear here and there, it's not, nobody's gonna freak out. We try to keep this is obviously the family friendly channel because everybody loves watching the races, but Turbo a little bit more loose and just hanging out there. If you want to watch us, put it on the background or whatever and see if we can. What were we up against now? Some canyon tunnel thing we're dealing with?
We got up to this, I don't know, now we're going into the tunnel, and we'll figure out what's on beyond the tunnel, or whether, we don't even know how long it is. We don't know nothing about it yet. I haven't played ahead. We did have to, if anybody has watched any of the earlier broadcasts, you've seen Robert Spring, who's out here tonight in the 74.
Watching him right now.
Yeah, you'll see him driving this car. He drives this car a whole lot better than he does the RV.
Yes, he does.
I ended up having to sit down and doing a little bit of driving school with him, and we have literally gotten to the point where we are on the broadcast. I won't go any further than that.
Why doesn't he use the steering wheel?
We tried. You can't use it.
You can't? Oh, that's too bad.
That was the idea. I mean, Milt was just. I'm sorry, Milt. Bob was just really kind of struggling just a little bit with the. He's not like a first-person shooter. So
I was going to say, if you're a first-person shooter player, that you could just kind of hop right into it.
WASD, and know what that means. And it was just a little confusing for Bob with that. So the game will allow you to map the keys out any way you want. So he went over to the number keys just for the driving part of it, and that made him a whole lot better. We still had some tricks. The ski jump was an interesting thing. It was 5 times trying to get him over that, but we finally did it. Milt was with us when we did that, and then we got all the way up to that cave, and I said, all right, that's as far as we can go. And then of course we found, going in for that practice day, we found out that they had added a new map. So as soon as we're done with the first one, I'm hoping we can talk Blaine into going into the winter map, and that'll be even funner.
That'll be super cool. Did you want to grab Bryant Wolf and talk to him before this thing
Why
gets
not?
going? So the guy that runs the show is Bryant Wolf, and yeah, man, apologies for the SMO overlap again this year, but yeah, you guys are super awesome. Just going to bump it forward 1 week for your championship race on the 4th there. Are you going to have a fun race here, or are you going to encourage people to maybe go over there and race at SMO?
Whatever they choose to do. I don't know. We haven't really thought too much about that, but yeah, we did push that last race to the 11th, which, by the way, is just one day after we start the new series with you guys.
Oh yes,
January 10th.
Right.
So we'll be doing Saturday and Sunday.
That's fun. Yeah. So
are you
we're
guys
gonna
actually
have.
going to hear that first one, Brian?
Yeah, because we're going to
yeah.
have season 4 broadcasted on the Saturday, the initial race of season 4, and then the finale for season 3 the day after.
Yep.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's hilarious.
So we're trying to come up with, you kind of segued me into that. I got just like 5 minutes here to get through all this through my notes here. So I appreciate you having me up here. Thanks you guys so much for covering ASR, man. We really appreciate it. We formed a really good relationship, and Saturday nights we're excited for that. But as always, I have to first of all thank the league, All Stars Racing, along with our sponsors, Bryant Motorsports. David Chin and his group over there have just blessed us with all of this, this Sunday series. And now they've given the reins over to Ken Roberts and I to bring a Saturday night super speedway series that I think a lot of people in the community have been wanting. So we're taking over Saturday nights, man. It's going to be the premier Talladega Super Speedway Series, starting January 10th. We just inked that deal with you guys, so we're good to go. Rod Weston, happy belated birthday, buddy. I wanted to tell you that. Make sure your phone is off tonight.
It is.
Make sure you're live.
I am.
But I did want to, and I got to tell everybody, happy holidays. We're not going to see you until sometime after Christmas, but that's going to be a tremendous weekend too. Of course, our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the Greg Biffle and his family. Like I made a post this week, we're not supposed to lose guys like this, just another a blow to the racing community this past week. And so our hearts are with them, and we'll dedicate tonight's performance to that. And thank you guys again for being here, man. We're having a blast with this. Watch those points tonight. Brian Rawson, Garland Oaks. I'm kind of rooting for that 67 now. Because these are the top guys that are in it. But good crowd here again tonight, man. We're calling this series a success, and we're going to continue.
So what's the new name of the relocated Super Speedway series? Because it also obviously can't be Super Sundays. You're just going to do Super Saturdays?
That is actually the All Stars Racing, or ASR, Premier Talladega Super Speedway Series.
And I love the logo you came up with for that thing too, the big platinum. It's the word premier. It's like,
and
it's cool.
It is a cool logo. It turned out pretty good. But we're real proud of all this, and Ken Roberts and I have been given the green light to go all in for Saturday, so to speak. So I think guys have been wanting this for Saturday nights. They're all experienced, and I mean we've got over 40 people interested already. So we're looking at a fun crowd for Saturday nights back again. Only this time under the umbrella of ASR, and we're gonna make it fun, man. It's gonna be a blast.
You said we talked about it with you in the phone conversation that it also works out better for some of the guys that have to get up and go to work on Monday morning. Of course, you have to get up Sunday morning, but But that's, the other guys, it makes it easier and better for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then again, man, I can't believe how blessed we are with this. I know it's hard to race on Sundays for a lot of these guys, especially coming off their Saturday nights. And, again, we're taking over Saturday nights. We're putting our foot down and taking it over.
That's a big night. Yeah. So is it going to be the same 8:00 start? Is it going to be,
It's going to be
what's the
pretty
lap
much
count? Like, are you staying similar to?
Yeah, I can give you all the you will have all the details and the cars and all that stuff eventually here, but because we don't start up till January 10th is our first one,
Right.
So more details will come out, but it's your basic 66 laps. I'm sorry, I'm losing my voice. I've been under the weather here.
Yeah,
But like I said, more details will come out on that. I kind of have to get back to these guys here in a minute.
Okay. Yeah, because usually they run 66, and on Sundays you drop her down a couple of ticks there to 57. Maybe a little bit earlier on a Sunday, get back to doing Sunday stuff. But yeah, it's
Right,
Saturday
yeah.
night race, man. That's like you said, it's the premier thing, and 66 is the 66 lap race seems to be the one.
Yeah, it's a standard. I think we're going to do the scoring a little bit different as the sim scores, just like we do here on Sundays. I think we're going to, no playoff situation. So that's going to make it interesting. 10 weeks, this much we know so far, but more, like I said, more details will come out next week.
Well, we'll be grilling you for it. Well, we'll send you back up there to get your guys ready to rock and roll here. I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. We're ready to get on the grid here, man. Thanks a lot for having us.
Awesome.
Good luck.
Thank you for having us. All right, Brian Wolf.
I always have to say this. We didn't really have time to do qualifying, but I got the outside pole.
Oh, did you? Nice.
Yeah, I beat you tonight.
Nice. Finally.
That means, and you are in the same, no, you're in the inside. So basically the whole outside roll starting with Robert Spring, he will get moved up all the way to the outside pole. And then back where you are in 11th, Brian Wolf and anybody behind him will move up one on the inside.
Right. Yeah, we have to remember, too, to thank all the viewers, of course. And, of course, thank David Chin and Bryant. Oh, let's just put the logo up there while we're talking about it. Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales, David Chin, Brian Wolf at Fluid Studios, all these guys for having us in here and sponsoring these broadcasts. Of course, all the drivers make this possible, and everybody watching on YouTube, if it's live or even in a replay. I find with a lot of these broadcasts, you'll get like say you get 100 hits live, you'll get another 100 hits the next day because it's everybody who was racing is now watching it on playback. So you'll get the people watch it, and then the drivers watch it.
Yeah, but you also have some of the drivers. But we always have Bob Sire Pumpkin in there, always throwing information out that we start talking about something, and we're asking about fuel mileage and whatever. And next thing you know, if my phone was turned on, it'd go off, and he's telling me, "Look at the chat."
Yeah, he's
Randy
texting
Waz
and
the same
driving.
way.
Yeah. Oh,
there
Randy
are a
Waz in
few
the chat
ones.
right there. Let's go racing, Corey. So, yeah, thanks, guys, for supporting the deal. And, yeah, moving forward
Remember,
with ASR, we're going to do it on Saturdays.
Let it run out, bud. Let it run out.
To your car.
Yes, sir.
Rod, go live.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, Lotto qualify, which is always cool.
It makes it different for a different challenge, really. Like I say,
Yeah, it does.
some drivers, they kind of like to, like myself, not qualify and start with that. Other drivers, you get the Greg Palmer, Ken Roberts, Danny Carroll, all them guys, they want to start up front. They want that better pit stall. And, that's where they want to be. So that's, that changes it up a little bit. You get a driver like Greg Palmer and Danny Carroll and throw them in the back, and watch them come to the front. It's amazing how they do it too, because I am not a super speedway driver. I can do it, I'm just not great at it. And watching some of them guys work their way to the front, how they make those moves is pretty cool.
Yeah, watching people get through the field here is pretty wild. Looks like we're being pulled away.
Expect, single file, double file, 3 file, sometimes 4. Usually 4 don't work, but David Little's going to be on the front row. It'll be on the outside is going to be Bob Spring, and then Seth Cole, David Chin. Got to go back here to get to the 5th place guy.
Blaine, sorry to interrupt, pal. That's going to be a restart.
They are going to, just got word from race control, there will be a restart. Just did that glorious, flawless pan. Roger that, Bryant.
Remember, let it run out.
Drivers,
Are you live?
Yes,
Is your phone
live.
off? Let me just chirp each other. Yeah, ever since Seth Cole taught me that little trick there,
Yeah.
it's definitely Jesus. Yeah, just let her go. Because sometimes the game will crash. If I try to get on the grid and retire my car to make this quicker, sometimes it'll crash. And it's not even, what's the countdown, I think, on a grid? I think it's 20 seconds. It's not even going out.
Yeah. Cool. We got 18 drivers tonight. There's 20 of us total, including Blaine and I, who are broadcasting and not racing. So that's why I say the outside row will come up through. That's going to move them up. That moves Robert Spring to the, like I said, outside pole. David Chin going to be behind him. And Eddie Van. How would you say that? Van Hein?
Ed Vaughn.
Vaughn. Okay.
Yeah.
Ed Vaughn. All them guys are going to get to move up on the outside, and it doesn't happen until we get to Blaine back there. So inside.
I don't have a car for Ulysses Sandoval. We are missing a couple of car
I have
files
his
this week.
car. I have
do you?
Ulysses. Yeah, it's the same car we've always run. So
I've got a Burger King car for some reason. It's which is my generic. But the 92 of Ed Vaughn is also missing.
he has Ulysses Sandoval's in that his normal, typical white Pontiac Grand Prix tonight for some reason he's not showing up on yours.
Weird. Yeah, that is strange because I don't really change much. Nobody's really uploaded a car in this file browser here. They use Google Drive to house all the cars. Hasn't been an upload there in a few weeks, actually. Guys just kind of have their 2 cars up there pretty quick, and they don't really change them. Of course, when new drivers come in, like Ed Vaughn, wasn't able to find his, but we will definitely find it after.
Car, which is I'm looking to make sure your Corvette. See if you have the Corvette on there. Takes a trip down the pit road. Dave Little's going to start the show with Robert Spring on the outside. Let's see who gets that really good run. Now, we haven't started yet because the start-finish line is after pit road, so we'll go quite a bit further down around the corner here before they get the green flag. Green flag is out. Pretty even start. Greg Palmer did not want to be on that bottom, boy. He saw an opening in front of Vaughn. Oh!
Whoa.
Bad bump there from David Chin. Looks like he kind of just gave Robert Spring a little bit of a bump. Great save, though.
Great. It is a great save. Especially when we're still coming up through the gears, too.
Yeah, Seth Cole decided to jump to that high side. Of course, Dave Little, you see that coming. To see drivers do this. Right now, they're still building up speed, but what are these guys doing? You'll be like, man, why are they doing that so early? Well, if they've got a little bit more head of speed than the guys that are still working on getting up there, that's why they're doing that. They've got that momentum going. They want to keep it going forward.
Yeah, you can get that early jump.
Say Seth Cole, the current leader, he made some pretty good moves there to get out in the front. Like zigzagging back a little bit. Let's see. He's going to hit the start-finish line. He is going to be the first guy to lead a lap. And I was trying to look to see where he is on points because
Seth Cole Eating joins us, of course, on Thursdays. We have been talking to Rolling Thunder Gaming, and they have decided to go with the simulcast, Tarnation TV, producing Flat Out Racing Network. Big bump there, 22 of Palmer to the 44 of Seth. Seth Cole, Kyle Matthews, and Michael Norman will do the broadcasting, and I talk a little bit, but not as much. I sit behind the scenes and run the production.
Robert Spring looks like he's going to come around and lead lap number 2 there. I looked at Seth Cole because Seth has missed two races. He's down somewhere around 13th in points. So we kind of talked to them earlier. I thought maybe he'd come at, try to see if he could contend for the championship, but I think he's probably mathematically out of it. I wouldn't say, has to be. Really, a lot of things would have to have happened to make that happen, but
And some stuff, like he said, he was going to try to run full time too, but obviously some stuff happened. He couldn't make a couple of them, but
for Springs, probably, and I'm not sure, Danny Carroll and Randy Watt, we know them two guys, when they hook up, they'll hook up, stay together.
I was wondering, Seth, looking up to that third lane there, and if anybody was going to leave him, he was going to start going backwards, but they all started to follow him, so now the middle line will go backwards.
And I'm kind of curious to see. This looks like Seth Cole's going to lead this lap. Danny Carroll was making a pretty good charge at it. Did not get there. He would cross the start-finish line. Oh, David Chin around.
David Chin.
Looked like Bob Sire.
I think Paglia was involved in that too, I believe. Or is Paglia...
McIntyre was involved.
Yes, he is.
Cody Lamas, I think, wasn't part of it. Vaughn. And of course, David Chin. We didn't see what happened, but... Back it up, but I promise I'll go back live afterwards.
Right, yes. Shortcut to live is the decimal point on your number pad.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I use a number pad to do a lot of stuff. If you hit the decimal point, it'll just go right back live again. That way you don't hit the wrong button. Yeah, you definitely got spun around. Take a look at that at a different angle too. It sort of just happened right in the middle of a camera change, going to slow motion here. Oh, Paglia off the middle. Yeah, what happened to Paglia?
Must have got hit and just rocketed right up into the field.
There's nothing, see, to me, again, it just looks like an internet thing, because there's no contact between the 21 and the 28, but the 28 just shoots straight to the right.
A little bit
Collected
of
Sire and Chin pretty hard. That's unfortunate.
Have you looked at the front of John Godfrey's car?
Does it have a wreath on it?
Yeah, he's going to overheat the darn thing. He's got a wreath on it.
Yeah, he does. Notice that. Let's check this
That's
out.
cute. Now, we're only 5 laps in of a 57-lap race. Seen a lot of these guys go in and take fuel at least. Gives them a little bit more runtime. Tires are not a big concern. As you see them, people maybe change 2 tires per pit stop. And sometimes they'll do it later. They may, or midpoint, they may just take 4, and then it's the only time they ever do take tires. So, looks like Seth Cole, Greg Palmer, Denny Carroll, Robert Spring, Lissy Sandoval, Brian Rossum, and Garland Oaks are going to be the guys that take the trip down pit road. As long as Slingsty is, I think it's Dave. Is it Dave Slingsty?
I think it's Dale Shalinsky.
Dale?
Let me see.
I'm looking myself.
I don't see him on
Dale,
the
you're
team
right.
stage.
You're right, Dale. It is Dale.
Oh, there he is. ASR Dale S. Yep.
John Godfrey, David Chin, obviously, some of the guys that were involved in that incident. McIntyre's down there. Didn't see too many of them taking tires. Maybe some of the guys that were involved in that would definitely have taken tires.
Chin on a elongated pit stop here. Hopefully they're smashing some of the damage out of that thing.
Yeah, he hit that pretty hard.
It's too bad too, so early in the race, stuff just happens. Sometimes Paglia does have a little bit of connection problem. It didn't even look like a connection problem there, but it's like the car where we could see it might have just done a shimmy that we didn't even observe, and unfortunately it just got more hold of the outside line than the inside line. Who knows?
Yeah, and unfortunately that took out Bob Sire.
Oh, it did. Yeah, Bob Sire has retired.
Yeah, he's not had a whole lot of luck over here. Seems as he makes a move. I think it was last week. He was back in behind 2 lines, and he decided, I'm going to try to get the 3rd line going. And he got out there, and something happened in front of him, and everybody came right up into him.
It is right place, right time, especially here. You get a string of bad luck; it just never ends.
Yep. That's what I like about Martinsville. You don't have to worry about bad luck like that.
No.
Martinsville, you can rip all the fenders off of it and you're still competitive. McIntyre's coming back in. He did go through the pits. I don't know if he stopped last time. I don't know. Say we cover so many races. We race in some of the other places. I'm not sure what the penalty was. Whether if you were the cause of the accident or anything like that, whether you have to do a drive-through on the second time by. I know he wasn't the cause of the accident, but you know.
Nobody's in getting right side tires right there.
Aglia's coming back in.
Left side tires as well. Matt McIntyre.
Aglia's taken at least rights.
We see Waugh, Paglia, we see Cole down there too. The guys are just doing it's early in the race.
Paglia came in on the first one, fuel only. This time he took 4 tires. So now the hope is that he has speed enough to be able to stay with the back of the pack. So I think it was last week, he was right there, but didn't have anybody behind him, and slowly but surely he just kind of lost the pack, and then before you know it, he was out of the draft.
Yeah.
So, just looking, so you have Dave Little and Cody Lamas are 2 drivers that have not made a pit stop yet.
I like these strategies too early in the race. If there's an early caution, some guys won't even bother pitting. We're at 2x, so you can get about 19 or 20 laps out of a tank of fuel. So you know what? Take the track position and get to the front. If there's another caution, now you're leading everybody down pit road.
And that's the thing of it is, it's 6 1/2 dozen another. But yeah, the idea behind it is you're out front, you have less of a chance of getting caught up with something if you're leading.
Yep.
Doesn't mean that you won't, because something could happen to your rear bumper, I guess is the best way to explain it. But it's a good strategy sometimes. The downside to that is when it goes too far, or and it ends up being green flag pit stops. You're going to have to pit a few laps earlier than everybody else. Which, we've always seen Bob Dixon do that and do it successfully. That doesn't mean it wouldn't be that if him and Lamas had pitted together, that would work out as long as they got in and out quick enough and were able to pick up like the main pack, and they could be right behind that main pack, and that would keep them up to speed. And then of course gets them back out there out ahead of them when they go in to their pit stop.
A lot of cars opted to come down.
Yep.
That last time there. The lights are now off, so we will be going green next time around. So it's just jamming as much more gas as you can in that thing. Some guys are actually getting tires too.
I was going to say, some were taking tires, some were taking tires, some were just taking fuel. Various different strategies. Now everybody did pit. Dave Little and Denny Carroll up front. They both pitted and took fuel at least. I don't think they took tires. But a strategy, they're just using a little different strategy where they pit at the last possible minute. Now they can go further than everybody else technically.
David Chin was forced to retire as well, unfortunately.
Oh no.
6 races in a row. Pumpkin asking on YouTube here, 6 races in a row he's been forced to retire. Is that right? Does he have 6 DNFs? We'd have to check that because there is a DNS. Wait a second, there is a DNF column, right?
I think so.
Yeah, David's got 4. So David Chin has not finished.
2.
Says 2, okay.
He's
Oh, there it is. Yeah, Bob Sire's got
DNFs.
2. 5 starts, 2 DNFs, 1 top 10.
All of them are DNFs, but he has been involved in a lot of the incidents that have gone on, not his doing.
I see what you mean, yeah, like maybe not necessarily being forced to retire from the race, but getting caught in an accident hard enough where it forces him to not be competitive.
Yep.
Yeah, he just confirmed that in YouTube. Not a DNF, just wrecked. So yeah, just damage enough to get you off the pace.
Pace car is off on pit road. Dave Little, Denny Carroll on the outside. Going to start it off. Robert Spring right behind Denny Carroll and John Godfrey behind Dave Little. And I don't know if they could have done that. That was pretty close. Don't know what the ruling is here. Sometimes they say you can't pass a car in front of you until you hit the start-finish line. Selinsky and Greg Palmer ducked up to the high side there. Don't think they actually made any ground up, but kind of got that outside line kind of out of shape, and they lost a lot of momentum. So now they got to get that momentum built back up and start making that charge. Randy Watt.
Black flags being shown, but again, like you said, that's because of the restart. So
Yeah. Randy Watt pushing Brian Wolf down the backstretch there. You couldn't get the car any further in. He was pushing as hard as he could.
Selinsky was down there on the apron in that Green Bay Packers ride. He got way out of shape there somehow.
Proud to say the Bears beat him this weekend.
Brian Wolf has disappeared.
Oh no! That is the worst feeling in the world for Randy Waugh. When something like that happens.
Yeah, I was locked on to Wolf and the camera just dropped.
Yeah. It's the worst feeling, as you
There
can
it
see.
is.
You can see
He's going to lose the draft because of that, but he dropped
Did come
off the
back.
track for 5 seconds, and everybody told him, and I guess he just pulled down to the apron there and let everybody get around him. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
God
sucks.
God forbid the
Said-
front.
You saw how the inside line was doing really well. That happens. That forces Randy Waugh to back off a little bit. Right. Currently, right now, he's right onto the back bumper of Denny Carroll, but he wasn't going to do that because you do that, Brian Wolf comes back. He'll come back in your car, and then it causes wicked waylay, damage and stuff. So
Would definitely
that's
be a
hard thing.
brouhaha.
It's a hard thing for someone like, Randy Waugh, where he was situated there. What do I do,
It's funny, John Godfrey's car has not changed at all, just it's got Christmas decorations on it. That's why before the race started, we did not have the car file.
Yep.
Because he put a wreath on there and some Christmas lights across the spoiler on the back.
You can see that
This race
inside
now.
line. The inline side line is starting to make a comeback there. That's, I think, it was the second lap led for Godfrey there on the high side.
The 77 of McIntyre still showing a black flag. Oh, it has been cleared finally. Okay.
We don't know Paglia, or is it? No, you're right. 7. Yeah, it's Paglia is showing a black flag.
He's also showing one still too, yeah. We got 3 laps to clear it, otherwise they'll be disqualified. I'm assuming it's just because it was a restart deal.
I turned my head to go see who's got the black flag, and missed out. Robert Spring coming from the high side down to the bottom side, saw that momentum coming up, pulled right out in front of Garland Oaks, trying to see if he can get himself back up there on the lead, I'm sorry. I gotta get a little bit of refreshment here so I can talk better.
So I believe Paglia, it came up that he was pitting, so he may have actually had a black flag that wouldn't be cleared due to restart.
Right.
Because he actually went for a stop and go is what it looks like. Oh no,
The
we
way
got
you
service.
When you get black flags here, one passing a car. So if you are on the inside line and you pass a car that's on the outside line that is technically ahead of you, you will concur a black flag. You also can get a black flag for when you head down into pit road under yellow flag conditions and you cross the end of pit road ahead of the guy that's in front of you on the track. And then I think with some of the other ones like the damage, if you've got too much damage, you can concur a black flag. Where they do the double file restarts, they as a restart, they just give everybody their laps or they clear the black flag because it's a double file restart. It's really hard. The inside line goes good. Somebody may spin their tires on the high side, and then they can't tell that they're going to be ahead of them, and then they concur a black flag. So far, the jolly old St. Nick out there out front here, John Godfrey.
Yeah, our points leader is currently the number 6 car there, Brian Rawson, currently running in about 4th. It's at 5th position right there out the line.
Need to check to see if Godfrey's got Santa's beard on. That would be fun if he did. If
Oh,
they did
and
that.
on the driver in the
On the
car?
helmet, yeah. Yeah, that would be kind of funny if he did. Greg Palmer, down on the bottom side there. Cars got kind of moved around a little bit there. Him and Seth Cole come down, got in front of Denny Carroll there. A lot of jockeying for position where they're changing lanes and stuff, and they're just trying to go find the place that's got the most momentum.
Can confirm no beard on Godfrey.
Good. It is cool though. He has the open face helmet though.
That is neat, yeah. Which makes sense in the Aero 88 mod because they would have run that back then. Some guys would have, obviously.
There weren't too many back then that ran full face helmets, but they did. Some did.
Yeah.
I never liked the full face helmet, and I always had one of the old, the same kind of helmet that they had there. But Denny Carroll making a move to the bottom.
Big bump by the 21. Forced
They
Denny's
like
hand
to
to go low. Gained a spot on Cole there. Might have even gained 2. A perfectly timed push by the 21 of Randy Waugh.
Outside line's going to have that better run. Now it's now what it is. If Denny wants to get at the lead, Randy's got to push. Give him that extra little push ahead of Greg Palmer.
Oh, it looks
Yes, he does.
looks like Denny.
Just barely.
Just barely.
0.00, and we don't know if we can check the smaller number on it. Hold on. It is 0.002.
There it is there. Yeah, 002 on Greg Palmer. Yep.
There's a
2
lap lead.
1,000ths of a second gap to get that lap lead, which Carroll needed because he did not have a lap lead until that point.
And like I said, if he's going to stick it out, try to see if he can go for the points championship, it's going to be hard. We're at this race is, and 2 more to go. That's going to be a tall order, but it's not. I don't know if mathematically it's impossible. Maybe a situation where they'd have to have more cars. Rawson and Garland Oaks would really have to have a rough night, and Denny, keep winning, and that might work out for him. But I think he's down 2 races and that he missed, and just come have some fun and try to win as many as you can.
Yeah.
The good thing about it is even if he's not really in the points, he comes here and does this. If he's having a lot of fun, he'll come back. That's how you build up more drivers.
And moving it to Saturday too, I feel like they will have more drivers showing up. Saturday always seems to be like the night,
Yep. Talladega Nights always ran there, and prime time. I don't know if I know they ran a couple of races there. I really don't know what they've done, but
Friday nights they do trucks, and Saturday nights they do cars.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then, with the closing of Talladega Nights, ASR saw the opportunity to go do that, and I'm pretty sure they'll get quite a few drivers there.
Yeah, a lot of leagues operate on Saturday, so it's going to be tough to get car counts. But hey, I mean, if people know, I mean, you know a lot of the guys that are going to be there, you're definitely going to be racing in good company.
Absolutely.
And like anybody watching this thing that might want to give it a shot, all these leagues, open arms, man. Like, you want to come out, they're always looking for extra bodies on the track. So links in the description below, of course, with our website down there, but also it's always the league's website. It's always the first link you'll find in that description beyond when the race begins. I always put that little timestamp in there too. But the Racing League website, sometimes it's Facebook, sometimes it's an actual website. There's always a way to get a hold of them somehow.
There's always plenty of leagues out there. Yeah.
Tons of them.
In our circle, we know of about 6 of them, but there's more than that.
Yeah, and Randall Coleman over there at Fast, he does full-blown seasons. He also has multiple broadcasters broadcast segments of his seasons.
Yep.
He asked me if we were interested, and I said, oh, yeah. And it's a Sunday operation, so with ASR moving to Saturday, that helps.
Yep. Just remember, summertime, I'm going to miss probably a few of them. I know that we got some Saturday night races too, which is going to I definitely won't be able to get home in time for that, because while you guys are doing the broadcast, I'll probably still be returning laps.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to work it out.
Yep.
Yeah, it'll be fun getting in there with fast, because when I first got back into this thing, I kind of came and went from the sim. I always raced offline. Never really got into the league racing after the Sierra server shut down. I just used to race publicly. But a couple of leagues here and there, but then when I got back into it, probably 7-8 years ago, was fast. Was the first. A few leagues are just kind of flaky, right? Like you just get in these leagues that have like 6 guys show up. But then I jumped in with fast, and they've got tons of people that show up to that thing. Got to know some of those guys. Raced with them for a couple of years.
Let's see Sandoval trying to get that high line going. I myself can credit the Sierra lobby that got me to league racing.
Mm-hmm.
When I finally got to the point where I had high-speed internet and could actually jump in there and play, if you think this looks organized, you should have tried one of those servers back in the day.
Oh, they're impossible.
It was an absolute wreck fest.
Yeah. It was a total mess. League racing is the only way to do it.
And so I typed into the chat, what are all these locked, they had games up there that were locked, races. And somebody had said those are leagues. And I'm like, really? And one of them up there said rushgaming.net. So I jumped out, typed in rushgaming.net, joined up, and that was my first league that I ever ran on.
Nice. That's cool, man.
I think I've run maybe 12 different leagues in my racing career on long run racing.
Yeah, it's the only way to do it. The public service, I mean, it actually is the only way to do it now.
Yeah.
Because the public servers are all gone. But to get in with leagues is the only way to do it. I mean, when you get into the first person shooter stuff and you talk about clans, I hated that. But when you talk about racing games, leagues, kind of like a clan, is so much better. Because this is what you get.
Well, you get rules, regulations.
Rules, points, structures, everything. Yeah, seasons, different tracks and restrictions and all kinds of stuff,
See Garland Oaks bail out on that high side, but they were making some time up out there. With, let's see, Sandoval on the high side, Brian Rawson right behind him, Matt McIntyre, Selinsky, and Cody Lamas. I wasn't sure if he was going to stay there or not. They were actually making up some pretty good ground. They lost Garland Oaks out of that, and they've dropped back a little bit since then. Ryan Wolf is kind of getting back in there. He's on that high side. Fortunately, he didn't lose the draft. He just, he was back away from it a little bit. He probably close to losing it. He was able to keep the draft, got back up there. His car looks pretty solid. Oh, no! Looks like Zalisky come down, tapped Garland Oaks. I'm not really sure what happened there.
Yeah,
I
I got into him too. Okay, we're going to rewind that, take a look at it. That's too bad. We were creeping up on pit stops too. Yeah, Shalinsky went for a ride. I missed it because it was on camera 2, which is actually attached to the wall. And it happened off that camera.
Sure if it was a bump that just went wrong, or...
Can't see from that angle. That's strange. Okay, one second. Back it up. Little helicopter camera here. Yeah, Shalinsky just a big drift from the top lane. And a little help from Spring sent him down on the inside wall. He just starts spinning.
Bounced off Garland Oaks there.
Fortunately, Paglia got into Garland. It's Garland back there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. We know everybody's going to pit. We're just posted that he's going to pit. So you'll probably see most everybody pit. The guys somebody that might stay out would be I would guess Ulysses Sandoval, yes, he would probably stay out only because he has not led a lap yet tonight.
Yeah, that is always interesting to see who's going to stay out. Yeah, Ulysses Sandoval has that little lap. Ross and McIntyre. So, yeah, like you called that one. Ulysses for sure. He'll go for a drive. Claim that lap.
Lamas has been basically kind of staying out on the first one throughout the night so far.
You could even stay out for a couple, really. You could go for a drive. I usually do that. I just stay out for 2 and then come in when the lights are going out.
You know, if you want to, let's see, Brian Wolf has led a lap.
It also depends if you have enough gas to do that, obviously.
Yeah. Well, they were going to be close. Brian Wolf and Dave Little are currently 1 lap down, so those 2 are going to be our lucky dogs. They stayed out that time because they were required to. They pit on the second time by, and they'll come back out, go up around, up to catch up to the pace car. Once the lights go out on the pace car, they will go out past it, and they will drive around the track completely, come up and pick up the end of the pack. As soon as the green flag comes out, they will concur a black flag, which the admins will clear.
And just for anybody who cares, the Florida Panthers played yesterday in Florida, so Cody would have been at that game. Unfortunately, they lost to the Blues 6-2. Big third period for the Blues. Scored 3 goals.
Bad memories for Cody.
I think the way I look at that box score too, 6-2, I believe that going into the third period, Florida was down by 1 and pulled the goalie. And then they got 2 freebies.
Okay.
That's usually what happens when there's such a man, they got pummeled. I'm like, nah, that's Panthers pulling the goalie trying to get the extra man out there trying to tie the thing up. And then they just have empty netters, right? So those last 2 goals are probably empty netters. It's all good though. Overall in the season, the Florida Panthers have 19 wins, 14 losses, and 2 ties, so they're doing pretty good. This has been your Florida Panthers update, courtesy of the 84, Cody Lamas.
Yep. He is staying out as well. You think he's going to lead a lap? Let's see if he's led one yet.
He has not. So Ulysses got his, and Cody will get his as well. A very successful yellow flag. This one has been.
Well, we got what? You take a look at... Oh, geez. I'm trying to look through who hasn't. Emerson has not led a lap yet. Randy Waugh, Matt McIntyre. Vaughn hasn't, so there's a few.
Robert Spring has led a lap. Do you think he was doing it in Tarnation TV Turbo in that RV? Haha, see how he has.
Yeah. No. He doesn't drive the RV like he does this thing.
No. Join us tomorrow, Monday evening around 8 p.m. on Tarnation TV Turbo. Links in the description below. Take it away.
Are we going to let him drive into the tunnel?
No.
Actually, he does it. He's gotten really, really good at his driving, so I will give him that. But
Okay.
we'll see what danger awaits us on the other side of that tunnel.
If he wants to drive into the tunnel, I'm going to hold on to that rear winch hook and let him drag me.
Who tried that? Lock the winch and hold on to it? See what would happen.
It lets you lower guys down into ravines and stuff and probably pull you down the street. See those guys going up the inside there, the lap down vehicles of Dave Little and Brian Wolf. Just trying to find a 102. There it is. They'll be your lucky dogs, and we'll get the drive around, rejoin the field, back on the lead lap. And that will put everybody on the lead lap, actually. 2 lucky dogs, 2 cars a lap down.
I don't remember now up here. They get to choose. If you're the leader, you get to choose, right?
Correct.
I think it's probably going to be Greg Palmer because it looks like Cody Lamas is he's just waiting as long as he can until he pits, so he has most fuel out of everybody else that's out there. So Brian Rosson's coming in with him. Robert Spring, McIntyre, Garland Oak, Jesse Sandoval. Fuel on. Jesse Sandoval's taking left side tires. I think Spring took tires. I didn't quite catch it.
So Wolf and Little are now on their way around the back. Palmer will get lane choice. See if he decides to switch with Seth. Thinking you got to make a choice on that probably before turn three, right?
Seem the bottom, so I would assume he's going to start on the bottom.
Yeah.
I think a lot of that has to depend on who you got behind you and who you'd rather have behind you. Of course, some of the guys, the bottom kind of seems to get up to speed a little bit quicker after the restart. But once that momentum gets wound up, that high side really comes in.
Mm-hmm. So lap 29. Everybody has pitted. So that'll put everybody probably will be pitting around lap 48 or so.
I was going to say about 48.
Maybe 50.
Next thing would be, too, at that point, do they just go until they get low on fuel, come in, take the least amount, or does some of the guys play a little different strategy and pit, a little off sequence, as long as you got enough cars to go with you, so you can get back out there, get in the line, and not lose much time.
Yeah, because that's a strategy too, right? So if you could probably go to lap 50 before you need gas. The fuel window being 18, 19, 20 laps, you could also pit around lap 38 or 39. Get a full tank and it'll get you the whole way. So that's a way to think about it too. We could see some of these guys coming back in the next, 8 or 9 laps, knowing that full tank could get them to the end.
Fast enough pit stop, you get out and you get either ahead of the leaders or behind them, and use them to. If you
had a couple of buddies and you wanted to come in 9 laps, you could make it to the end, knowing if it went green, everybody else has to then still come in. And even if a yellow came out, you still wouldn't have to come in.
It looked like almost like a setup deal there. Greg Palmer did not get a very good run. I doubt, from my seeing that, it probably wasn't. I think Greg just didn't get a good run. Seth Cole, Danny Carroll, they got out in front of him and then dropped down to the bottom in front of him. But
Seth bails on the 41.
Yep. That momentum was coming with Palmer and Godfrey on the high side. Now Brian Rasson's joining him, Garland Oaks.
And you can see, too, that's a thicker line. Oh, it was a thicker line until they all went out to the right. So...
only 2 cars down at that bottom.
It is,
The other 2 have 4. So there's going to be a little bit quicker up there.
So cool, the different stuff you see sometimes.
Yep. Godfrey goes down on the bottom. Kind of leaves Seth Cole out. Seth Cole goes to the 3rd group. Didn't have time, I don't think, to get down in front of Palmer, so decided to go up. He had a little more time to get in front of Garland Oaks. So
just enough to. He was almost stuck in the middle, and you don't want to do that.
Nope. That's a good move, because you get stuck in the middle, you're going backwards.
Yep. Get stuck with 0 other cars behind you, you're done.
Yep.
Somebody behind you, you're going to be behind everybody.
Yep. All right, 6 on the top, 5 on the bottom. Typically 6 on the bottom, 7 on the top with Robert Spring, but he's back too far really to make a difference.
Look at that, though. Great decisions by Cole the last couple of laps, maintaining that lead. Some aggressive, not aggressive lane changes, but necessary lane changes. Nothing wrong with that.
Carroll, they got that momentum really cranking on the high side, so he pulls out and heads to the high side. They see if he can get that. Looks like Cody Lamas was thinking about jumping down in front of Greg Palmer.
Yeah, I wondered if anybody's going to go with Palmer. I mean, I'm a big fan of that middle lane, so where Seth is where I would be. There he goes. Carroll now moves down in front of Palmer.
had a good head of steam going, so get that good head of steam. Instead of lifting, he decided to run down there to the bottom. Now it goes good for a little bit, then all of a sudden it kind of runs out of steam. But you'd hope that about the time it does that, Greg Palmer would be right behind you and then start pushing you. He's getting there now. I have to say, he didn't lose very many positions. There's not a lot of help behind Palmer.
So Garland Oaks in second overall. 170 points coming into this race, and Rawson 179. Rawson's still back there in about 7th spot.
I think if it finished where they are about now, they would be pretty close to being tied again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these two are really, really close the whole season so far when it comes to points. 67 in the 6.
Quick math, if I did it right, Rawson would still have the lead by 2 points. If it were to stop right now.
And it's showing Rawson as a lap down. There's only 6 cars in the lead lap.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. Seth Cole is 48 seconds behind the leader. What? Wait a second.
Dave Little's our leader. You know what happened? I bet you. Yep. Okay, they just fixed it. I bet you're working on fixing it. I bet you what happened is instead of clearing a black flag, they might have given him a lap back.
Oh.
After he drove around.
Right. Yeah, something happened where it was showing Seth in 3rd, so that's wrong. We're gonna let that ticker sort itself out here.
Somehow, Robert Spring and Dave Little have gotten a lap on the field. Not sure how that happened.
Yeah, it'll probably figure itself out now because we've got Cole being 48 seconds behind Spring, which is wrong. So now it shows Cole from 3rd place to...
Wondering if your ticker's not working tonight on the back.
Still, I just shut it off.
Okay.
I was thinking... Yeah, I just shut it off when I noticed that it hasn't changed yet, though. Still showing Cole in 3rd.
I'm going to grab Brian Wolf. I know under racing conditions not a great way to do it, but let's see if he knows what's going on here.
Keep it short and sweet, yeah. I can whisper chat him if we want.
Let's do that.
Okay. Brian, Tarnation TV control, you got me?
Seth Cole is the lead.
I do.
Technically, he shouldn't.
Just curious about the lap counts here with Spring and Little being in 1st and 2nd.
First place.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out how to get their laps
going on
back. There was a mistake made somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, so they got Brian.
Roger that.
We're
Thanks,
actually
Brian.
working on it right now.
Robert
Okay,
Spring
thank you.
back into position.
Yeah, he said there was just a mistake with clearing. I think they have to put him down a lap is what they have to do. Yeah, here it is. They put him down a lap, yeah. And they'll have to put Little down a lap, and that'll put everybody else back in sequence again.
And that's hard to do when you're out there trying to drive and be agile.
So now we have to ignore who's led laps now because...
Well, we'll have to figure that out and take the laps led that Little had away from him afterwards. That's a pre-race thing.
Yeah. Yeah, post-race thing. They're going to have to adjust the laps led, fix that. But, yeah, that's all it was. Brian said, yeah, they hit the wrong button and they gave those guys a lap instead of giving them the lap back or something.
Basically, they went to clear the black flag and gave them a lap back.
Yeah. They added a lap instead of, or added 2 instead of adding 1. So
they shouldn't have to add it. Because if they drive around, it's clear the black flag. So
it's clearing a black flag, yeah. So I think by accident they probably added a lap, so then they got to take it away.
They still haven't taken it away from Dave Little yet. Which they've got to do.
Let's go check out where our race leader is then. Let's see here. Dave Little back there leading the race.
In front of
but not really. He's about in what? Like that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's in about 11th spot. So he will be with Wolf. Wolf.
I don't know if Wolf realizes it or not. You should let him know that the 102 is still one lap up on the field. If they had cleared it and they didn't get it cleared, they don't realize that maybe they didn't say okay.
Yeah, they're working on it.
Okay.
Yeah, they are working on it. I got Bryant Wolf on Whispers, so he's confirmed that they are just trying to figure out how to get Little back. Because if they give him a lap down, they might have to let it sit for a lap or two and then give it back to him again. There's a way to do it.
It's the same way as giving a lap plus. You just got to do a negative.
They fixed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cole is now being built back in first. They've got it.
Yeah. A little bit of confusion.
Yeah, well, a little bit, a couple extra laps out of it.
Brings up drama a little bit.
So now we are 17 to the finish. So technically, if anybody was running a weird strategy, they could pit now, even though they don't need to. There's only about 9 laps on this tank.
Yeah.
If there was 3 or 4 people that wanted to do it, I would kind of be interested to see that. I'm that guy. I would do it. I would try to gather some dudes to go now.
As long as you guys could get in and out quick. We had guys that could get in and out about the same. You got in and out quick. No mistakes. You got out there. You get back on the track. And you got that thing rolling. You might be able to come out. You'd get passed by the leaders. You'd go a lap down. But you'd be right at the end of the tail end of that lead pack. When they pitted, then, you would hope that you guys could get, the cars could stay together, be strong enough so that when they did come out of the pits, they would be far enough ahead of them.
Yeah, you would hope that. I would think you'd need at least 4 cars to do it with. Because if you had 3, it'd be okay, but 4 would be ideal, I think. You get maximum speed with 4 cars.
Yep.
4 guys could run as fast as a 10-car pack, and you'd have to stay in line. You can't try to pass each other. So get your best guy, say, okay, who wants to lead this pack? Let's do it. Everybody stay in line. And then you might be able to, drive by that main pack and actually stay in front of their draft.
I think what you'll see will happen, we're still probably 5 laps away from it. As you said, you're whispering to Brian Wolf. You're going to have teammates out there, they're going to be whispering together. You may see 3, 4 guys, kind of maybe do it 1 lap earlier just to get away from all the cars. But then again, they may all come at once, and it'll be pretty much down to, I think these guys know it better than I do, because I was amazed the other day when they, I think it was Denny Carroll told us that, half a tank will give you, this many laps. They'll figure it out.
I think it's a can. A can is 10 laps.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was a can is 10.
So if they have to take a can, that's great. But if you think that we ought to keep track of the speeds. Right now, they're still cranking on it. We've seen guys do this. If they think, well, we slow down a little bit, then we can only have to take a half a can, you're in and out quicker. Especially if you're a driver that's in the position of like where Denny Carroll's, where Randy Waugh is. Now, you noticed all of a sudden Randy Waugh's and Denny Carroll, they're not right up and tight to the rear bumper as they were before. So I think you're going to see some of these guys are going to start trying to save a little fuel. They'll probably go as far as they can and try to see if they can get away with just taking half a can and hoping everybody else has to do a full can.
Seeing Garland Oaks currently running second, with Brian Rawson currently running 6th. This is a very important pit stop for these guys, being 1-2. Very close to each other in points. Randy was in 3rd overall, but he's got 154 points. Oaks has 170, and Rawson leads with 179. So those top 2 guys are only 9 points away from each other.
That's like you talked about with Brian Wolf and Randy Waugh. Now's the time they need to, they can't let Garland Oaks and Brian Rawson finish ahead of them. They've got to get ahead of them guys. The more they finish ahead of them, the further and harder it's going to be to possibly take the championship.
I love this kind of points racing too.
Yeah.
especially when it comes down to these green flag pit stops. These guys have been running green for a while. They're creeping up any time now. You could see they could pit any time. They do need to go one more time. They cannot make it without pitting. You're not going to see any tires being changed, I don't believe. Well, you might.
The only way you can see tires be changed is if somebody does go down and pit and they really severely lock up the left front.
Yeah.
You might see somebody take left side tires just because of that. Now they're starting to jockey around a little bit. Microsoft got moved out of the way.
I was just looking at that. It looked like Lamas and Godfrey were looking to the bottom, but then Cole was like not lining myself up for pitting.
Could be a lot of what's going on too. Everybody's just trying to get down to that bottom.
Yeah.
You don't want to be Brian Rason or Greg Palmer right now, out there on that high side and have to pit right now. Yeah, you'll still be able to do it. That's not the problem. The problem is you'd have to slow so much to clear the cars below you that you would lose time on your pit.
And I mean, if they're going too, then it's fine. But you got to communicate that. Be like, if you're going, I don't need that line. You can just go together. You guys need to know you're going to be beside them.
Keep an eye on the chat here, because
you can do that because I can't block half my screen.
Yeah, just keeping an eye on the chat to see when because as soon as they do that, the chat will go yellow if I clear it every time, and that'll give me the idea of when and who's pitting.
Yep, we are within 10 now, so we will be racing back. Any flags come up?
Randy Waugh and the 44 Seth Cole are pitting this time by so far, along with Leslie Sandoval. Difference of few cars, only 3 cars so far pitting this one. Garland Oaks, okay, they didn't post it. Garland Oaks, Kenny Carroll, Steve Little, Brian Wolf.
Oh, Cole hard in there.
Leslie Sandoval and Randy Waugh. Pretty good pitting. I mean, it was some close calls right there, but
you have to watch to make sure nobody got a black flag. Oaks with a great entrance. He got in front of Cole. Cole was actually locking it up and actually held on to it.
Doubt highly we're going to see anybody take tires. Brian Wolf took left side tires.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Watching the race off pit road right here. See if Cole can keep it. It's going to be Oaks.
Put the lead to Cody Lamas. Let's see. Lamas is coming.
Yeah.
John Godfrey, Greg Palmer,
Wilson,
Robert Spring, Matt McIntyre, Ed Vaughn. They're all coming out. Let's see how many, if any, do take tires. I don't see anybody so far.
Oh, Rawson overshot his pit. He had to back up.
That's a killer.
Yeah.
Green flag pit stop. That really makes it hard.
That is just a little bit, like not much, but a little bit under green. That's big. He's gonna have a couple cars behind him though, so that's good.
Garland Oaks he's leading that that next pack. Just hit the entrance of pit road. Now they're coming across the line and past McIntyre and Greg Palmer. They're still full song and the rest of them are going. Robert Spring and Brian Rason are just coming out. They went by them.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to latch onto that pack.
No, and Cody Lamas and John Godfrey have the best pit stops out of them all. Now I guarantee you that Garland Oaks and that group are going to get them. They're going to go by them, but they will be able to pick up that pack pretty easy because they were already pretty much up to speed.
Great pit stop by Garland. Was able to beat Seth Cole. Phenomenal pit stop by Garland. Cole was leading him down. He locked up a little bit. Was able to, and then he had to kind of wheel it to make sure he didn't rack it. So it was fine because Cole's right there in fourth. But huge for Garland because we saw that Rawson made that little bit. He overshot his pits by about a foot. So he only had to back it up, which might only cost him a second. But a second on pit road under green is a big deal on the track because you can see him back there with Spring, and they're not. Are they within the draft? Not really. 1.7. They're just outside of it.
Godfrey and Lamas were able to hook onto that. Now we got Brian Wolf We had about 7 laps to go. When he hit the line, it's going to be 6. Brian Wolf and Lamas went to the bottom and to try to make a move. Now that could potentially bring Robert Spring, who is back there just behind Godfrey, and Brian Rosson into the picture.
Yep.
Not there yet.
That'll be good if it can. They are closing it.
They are about 2 seconds behind, and it got to be within 1 second for that draft to really make a big difference. But if these guys keep running side by side up there, that's going to open up that window a little bit more and allow them guys to catch up.
Yeah, they like what they're seeing right now. It was 1.7 gap to the front. Now it was 1.5 last time around, so they gained a couple tenths. There's another car coming out there. That's McIntyre. Black flag Godfrey, black flag McIntyre. McIntyre's 3 laps down.
Yeah, so in other words, they were caught speeding on pit road. Unfortunately, had to come in to serve you should be a drive-through penalty the first time. And then the second time you come down. So in other words, if you went down pit road, concurred a speeding penalty, you do a drive-through. If you go down that drive-through and speed, then it's a stop and go.
So it looks like Spring and Rawson actually caught that lead draft.
Yep.
So this is good news for Rawson.
Better news. Doesn't mean he's going to be able to get back up there, but we're down 5 laps to go.
Yeah, he's tacking on right there now. We'll get back up to the front here. We got Carroll right behind Oaks at first. So they were a little mistake by Rawson. Put him to the back of the lead pack, but he's still in the draft.
If it were to stop right now where they are with Garland Oaks out front, and he's 8 positions behind, I believe that would be, he'd be in the points lead by 2, I think, 2 or 3 points.
John Godfrey Alba's Lonesome has cleared the flag.
The guys in the back, they keep racing for it, so Robert Spring take the high side. Brian Rosson decided, I'm going with him, I'm not going to go to the front if you stay in line.
No, and all the little lane changes and whatnot really did help Spring and Rawson get back into this pack right here. So
coming down with 3 to go. So what Brian Rosson needs is these guys up front there to start getting a little more racy. When they do that, they'll start opening up the air. And Rosson can start thinking about which way he wants to go to make up positions. Cody Lamas, he must have had a good run, decided to go down to the bottom. Kind of crowding Brian and Rolf up there, trying to get back up into that line.
These guys up front are just content running in line here. Cole keeping a pretty good distance on the 0926 there, Ulysses.
I think you'll see Ulysses probably won't leave his teammate, which is Garland Oaks. Wherever Garland goes, I'm sure Ulysses Sandoval will go with him. Now, we know Denny Carroll, he don't like to finish second. So he may, I know that him and Garland raced against each other for a long time, but I still think Denny wants to win this thing. Get down to 2 to go. Not really doing much. Rosson got a little bit off the lead pack there. Not a good thing. Only good advantage he'll have if they start racing side by side. He may have enough momentum that he can pick what lane he wants to go with and possibly make up some ground. Robert Spring goes to the high side, and Wolf to the bottom side, and then Spring back down to the bottom side from the high side.
Yeah, we had 18 cars start the race. 4 of them have retired. Bob Sire, David Chin, Mark Paglia, Dale Shalinsky. Matt McIntyre still out there, 5 laps down. Everybody else is on the lead lap. Ooh. Oh, Brian Wolf getting squeezed right there.
That's what I was going to say. That was crazy.
It's crazy, but that's how it goes.
Yep. 2 laps to go now. We're out here going to wait.
Living is full.
Oh gosh! Don't give up your broadcasting.
I'm not gonna.
Or your FedEx career.
Nope.
All right, so now Seth Cole said it's finally time to go.
Yep. Couple laps to go here now.
Wow, that was close.
That just stalled that line.
Garland Oaks, he had to go to the bottom. He had to stop that momentum.
Yeah, they thought they were going somewhere, but Garland's driving out that review mirror right now because he needs this win.
Son is currently up into, I think, the 6th position, 5th or 6th.
White
He's made a
flag.
pretty good turn. Seth Cole looking for some place to looking for room, place to go. He's gonna try the high side. He gets one of those good runs off the corner, so he goes to the high side. He's got Robert Spring with him. He's making good time up there, but he's gonna now right there is where he's gonna lose it. Little bit of a bumper to the back of Garland Oaks. Garland Oaks a little out of shape, saves it. Okay, now let's see.
Lap car coming
here.
up.
Car's up high enough, way out of the way. Godfrey's just not going to be doesn't want to make a choice in what happens in this race.
Oh man, they're touching each other.
Here comes Rosson on the outside.
Wow, man. Brian Rosson got all the way back in there for a fourth place finish.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Ooh.
Means, mathematically, Brian Rosson's still going to be the points leader.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. He was only 9 ahead, so...
Even with the 5-point bonus for Oaks, and then Oaks did not lead the vote. Well, we don't know if Oaks led the most laps because we had that issue with scoring. That lap counter is going to be just these guys are just wrecking her up here.
That's a different winner for the season. First time winner over here.
What a great race, man! Because it's coming down now. We're late in the season. We're 6 of 8 now completed. 2 races to go, and we've got these 2 guys. Garland really did need that win to get those extra points on Rosson, and with Rosson being back there in like 10th, was able to find his way back to 4th. Like, it just doesn't stop getting interesting, you know. Like Garland would have loved to see him finish 10th. I guarantee you that much.
I don't see if I have last week. Yeah, so last week it was Brian Rosson that won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then like I said, Garland needed to see he needed Rosson to really finish back there.
Yep.
But he didn't lose the draft. That was the thing. He was able to keep that draft and able to pick his way back to 4th. It's a great finish for Rosson too.
Garland's down there burning it down. Give him a chance to do some burnouts, and then we'll bring Cody Lamas in and see if he can tell us a little bit about his night. Cody Lamas, Rod and Blaine in the booth. You got a copy, bud?
Oh, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, yeah. Turn the mic on.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not in the best mood, or not mood talking-wise, like, under the weather, but go ahead. Yep, I'm here.
Good. You've had a pretty successful night race tonight. Led a few laps. You only led 3, but, you're still in the race. You're up there with the lead track all night long. The pit stops kind of come around. We thought you guys might have gotten in trouble. You pitted a little different with everybody else. You were able to stay with that pack, worked your way back up into the 3rd position. Not a bad night for you.
Yeah, but believe I've covered a lot of pretty much every position besides 1 and 2 now in this series. I think I'm using all my luck in this series now. I believe I had like a 4th, a 5th, a 6th, now the 3rd. Working our way up there. It's just pretty simple race, really. Nothing to report. I had that moment where Garland got spun in front of us, and I'm lucky I didn't kill him. And then at the end there, good pit stop. But these plate races, if you get a good pit stop, it's usually a bad thing. It just fell back. No one really wanted to make any moves, and did all I could on the bottom. And then you could see who everybody was aligned with, and at that point, pretty much out for yourself, as you saw like all the huge shoves. You couldn't really make any moves to get behind anybody if you wanted to. That's what happened with Randy. I believe Denny got into Garland, and it was just a big checkup, and that helped us get third.
And I see you missed 2 races, and I think it was you missed the first 2 races of the season, and you've been here ever since. You're currently 15th in points, quite a ways out. Missing 2 races, makes it a little bit harder. But tonight, Perry Bond wasn't in there. David Chen had a rough night. John Godfrey got caught speeding at the end of the race. So that should move you up there pretty close to the top 10. And you're going to try to run the rest of the season to see if you can make that top 10 and finish out the season there?
Yeah, I'm all good with timing and scheduling. Pretty sure I don't have any more Sunday hockey games. Those are super rare. And so that's nice to race with that kind of freedom of not really having to worry about that. Yeah, it's fun. Something to do, something different. And just keep trucking along, and maybe we can get the last 2 spots in the last 2 races, second or first, or both.
So you say there's not too many Sunday hockey games. They're switching over to Saturday after the first of the year. Is that a better night for you? Are you going to be able to make the Saturday night series?
Yeah. The Panthers had a really home-heavy schedule the last month or so that usually means the end of the season is pretty road-heavy. So I'm pretty happy with scheduling. I've got it all planned out. And, we run when we run, as they say. I guess I should put a slogan on my bumper, maybe, If I'm here, like you guys say, if we're here, we're not. If we're racing, we're not.
But Blaine always says, he goes, well, must be the Panthers aren't playing tonight. Cody.
Yeah, if Blaine doesn't have a copyright on that, I may have to, quote that on the bumper or something next season.
Yeah, do whatever you got to do.
Panthers aren't playing.
Yeah.
Panthers aren't playing. I'm here.
Yeah, we always know when you're not here, we know where you are. Because then I just bring up my phone and I'm like, oh, yeah, Panthers are playing in Florida. I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah, even like a couple weeks ago, I had to, I got here like right at 8 because the game was at like a 5:30. And I was like, oh boy. So it's always fun to do those little challenges like that. Like we used to, when we went to Homestead in Daytona, we would always try to sometimes drive home to the game after the race, and we'd always get there like in the 3rd period usually, just for the just to see if you can do it, something fun, right?
Yeah, why not? Well, let's say congratulations on your 3rd place finish. Blaine, you have anything more for Cody Lawless?
No, we were just going to talk hockey.
Yeah.
But no, man,
there's not much hockey to break. It's a break now.
Yeah, this was a great race to watch because we were watching like the points and where you guys are falling, and those pit stops and stuff. And I was kind of curious. So we were kind of running numbers. Like you guys are usually run until you're sort of out of gas and need to pit. Nobody ever does like run until there's 18 to go and then pit. You know what I mean? Like I was kind of thinking maybe somebody might try that one of these weeks. Get with about 3 or 4 other guys and go in super early, knowing you can pit with 18 to go and make it, not run the 18. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Actually, ironically, I believe it was being discussed over whispers about splitting the pack early or pitting a little earlier, maybe with like 10 to go. Or, I'm not sure exactly when we pitted, but I don't know. It's just one of those things, really. I guess it's hard to judge what people are going to do, even if you have friends. And it's just one of them things, right? What can you do? That's how it goes.
I was excited nonetheless, man. Congratulations on the 3rd place finish.
Yep. It's nice to talk to everybody. I didn't lose in the photo finish for 3rd and, by 2/1000ths of a second, like in Holiday 200.
There you go. Oh, all right. We're going to give you the chance and the opportunity to thank the people that you want to thank for getting you here and whatnot. So the floor is yours.
God. Thank you guys for broadcasting. Thank you for my London cough drops for getting me through the race. That was great. Can't wait to have some more of those. And we all I have a feeling everyone's not going to be happy that I didn't make any moves in the last lap, but I believe you saw it was like the whole last run there after pit stops. I tried. Everybody was for themselves, really. So at that point, you just hang at the bottom and do your own thing. But thanks for broadcasting. Thanks for running. These are fun. And looking forward to doing it all over again.
We'll be here.
I hope so.
There you go, our third place finish tonight. Cody Lummis, congratulations. All right, so Denny Rod to blame in the booth. You got a copy.
What's up?
What's up? Didn't quite get it done tonight, but you got second, which is really good. I don't know what that amounts to because last week's race wasn't as good, but let me see. Last week finished second. Yeah, see, again. So what you do is you win, you don't do very well, and then you second. Still pretty decent points tonight.
I think every race I'm not finished out of the top 2 in this series.
Yep.
I just missed 2 races.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you're right. So, that helps. That's going to help you out in the points. Currently, right now, you are 10th in points. You still got a ways to go with only 2 races left. Could be hard hill to climb to try to go for the championship. But I think with the second place finish tonight, Bob Sire having trouble. Mark Paglia having trouble. No Dennis McCarthy tonight, but he still will get provisional points, as well as no Ken Roberts. So all of that's going to help you move up in the points. You should, I would assume, probably get up and close to the top 5 in points after tonight.
Yeah, plus we kept the 6 off of out of the interview places.
Oh yeah, the interview places.
Kept him out of the podium finishes anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still made a really good comeback to 4th. So he's not. Garland's not going to have the points lead, but he's going to be pretty close.
Well, it's all about being consistent, and I think I've been pretty consistent.
That pays for its shows on your record so far this season.
I guess I'll have to win next Sunday to get me some more points.
You got to win, and like I say, the top 5, you've got 3, that means today would be your 4th. So
yeah, a few of them guys that's in front of me didn't even show up, did they?
No Roberts tonight. No Dennis McCarthy. Paglia had a rough night. Sire had a rough night. Rob Spring was not too far. He was still in the top in 6th, but you were only like 3 points, or no, what is it? 2 points behind him, so that probably would move you ahead of him, possibly Bob, Paglia, and McCarthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The biggest part about this stuff is you got to get lucky and miss the wrecks.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, you can be the best car here and finish last. You got to have help, and you got to miss all the accidents. Which that's where you got to have luck.
Lost your dancing partner near the end part of that, Randy Waugh there. Usually, you and him usually get together and do pretty well, but kind of near the end there, you had to make a decision to go with the line that was going faster, and unfortunately, you had abandoned Randy to do that, and then he was never able to get back up to your rear bumper.
Yeah, it looked like he got knocked up out of the lines. I almost did. I got bumped once and knocked Garland up out of the line on the back stretch on the last lap.
Blaine, you have anything for Denny Carroll?
Yeah, you were talking about consistency. Like I said, it's with 3 top 10 finishes this season with 3 starts coming into this race. So now it's 4 starts, 4 top 10s. Like I really wish you had made those other couple of races, because it would have been something to see you, Oaks and Rawson. Like Randy Waugh's there, but he's still about 20-ish points out of that. But yeah, who knows, right? Anything can happen. Are you planning on running full time when they move this thing to Saturday in January?
Oh yeah. How many races are left in this series?
2.
Oh hell, I'll have to win both of them, and it still might not be enough.
They will. What was it? I'm trying to think of what day it was that they have the 10th. Is it? 10th is the first race for Saturday night, and the 11th is the last race for this series.
Yeah, because the last race for this series was supposed to be January 4th, but because SMO Gaming has us booked in there for their New Year's bash, they bump it forward to the 11th for the final for season 3. But the day before is the first race for season 10, or for season 4. So it's like, yeah, season 4 starts and then season 3 ends. But ASR is pretty awesome. They just bumped it forward a week. So It'll be
Well, it's
we'll be
not over
confused
yet.
on that day, I think, because of how they're happening like that.
It's not over yet.
That's a race.
It's not.
If you're not doing anything on that night, and you want to go out and have it's going to be a frustrating but fun race. It's basically wreck the leader.
Yeah, that's
No yellows, no whining, no nothing. Green flag drops,
Just go wreck each other.
stops, and they just go out there. And last year we laughed so hard with John Wall, not even really racing. He was just looking for the person that had the number 1 tag over his name, and then he would wreck them. And it made hard for us because we were trying so hard to keep up with who, what, where, when. One lap you'd be in the lead, next lap Blaine's in the lead, and we're like, well, how'd that happen?
He's just
and
out
then
there body checking the leaders, like that's all he was doing.
It was fun.
Yeah. I don't like wrecking my car.
Yeah, well, that's just something they do to blow off steam, and it's kind of cool. So
Damage is off.
I'll give y'all something to hang on to for the rest of this series. Hold my beer and watch this.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, man, we're ready because this is going to be cool. Mathematically, it's possible. If Rawson and Oaks have a couple of catastrophic failure races,
you're right
you
there.
could be right there knocking on the door with Wolf and Roberts. Like, there's a lot of guys who could still catch those guys.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. I could win the next 2 and still not take it unless they have trouble.
Right. But like you said, it's not over till it's over, so that could happen.
Yep. Just hold my beer and watch.
You got it. All right, Denny. Well, we'll give you the chance to thank the people that you want to thank that get you here and whatnot. So the floor is yours.
I just like to thank y'all for doing this, and Rodney Sellers for painting my rides. He gives me some fast cars, and thank all my teammates and Brian Wolf for putting these races on. And I'll see you guys next Sunday.
Thanks, Dave.
Congratulations on your second place, bud.
Thank you, guys.
Garland Oaks, Rod and Blaine the booth. We got a copy, my friend.
We got a copy. I am so sorry I missed last week's meeting, fellas, but here I am. I'm back again.
So you know what though, you're getting this is getting to be a common thing for you here every week. Usually it's finishing second, then it's finishing third, and now it's coming home with a W.
Yeah, we got out of the pits pretty quick on that last pit stop there, and it got me out in front. And luckily I had some people behind me that was good enough to push me to that win. So first and foremost, thank you to Danny Carroll. Denny made sure that we kept that 67 out front tonight, and we got that win. So.
And then we were kind of keeping track of the points off and on through the night. I don't think you took the points lead over, but boy, you took a good chunk out of it. Brian Ossan was able to make it back up to the 4th position, which we figured, I think you had to be about 8 apart if you won like that, or 7 at least, and he made it back up to 4th. So he's going to make a pretty good fight for you for the end. So you got two more races. Come out, get some more podium finishes, maybe another W, and maybe you get that championship.
Yeah, I think we did pretty good with the points tonight. Looks like we got him by 3. We beat him to the line by 3 positions, and then on top of that, we got lap sled this week where he didn't get any lap sled at all, and so we'll get some bonus there that he won't get. So I figure we're pretty much about dead even again on top of the rankings for this week, because he got me by a few positions last week and everything. So I think we're about dead even.
That's where I didn't get was the lap sled. So it's pretty close. It's going to be pretty close then. You get, I think it's 5 extra points for the win. Leading a lap would give you 6, and then it drops down to 3 less than what you got, and then from that point on, it's only 1 point. So him finishing there, it's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, pretty close. But the point is we got to win tonight, and we worked it all out from the back, and then. Unfortunately, I was in a little scuffle there at the beginning. It scared me a little bit. I thought we was going to take on too much damage to be able to get it back up front, but we brought it out after they beat and banged on it, and it was still pretty fast. So we pushed it on up to the lead.
Yeah, you did. We saw that. You got in a wreck, and very fortunate that none of the damage and the moves that you were making at the end there. You just kept playing the momentum game, going wherever it was coming from, and I wouldn't say you made the moves that late. You made them calculated and very well done. And keep yourself up front there. Obviously, like you said, with Denny Carroll behind you, and that worked out super, super great. And I'm just looking forward to you maybe taking this championship. But it's been an honor having to actually get a chance to talk to you after the races.
It's been fun talking to you also. I went for a long time before I got to speak to you and Blaine in the booth, and now it seems like we're on top of this super speedway series. Hopefully I can start pulling some wins out of some 1.5 miles and some short tracks, but I think we've got this one pretty much down. So
now with ASR going over to Saturday nights in January, are you probably going to go over there and run they're just basically, it's going to be the same kind of series as this, a little bit different. I think it's a different mod, a little longer races. You planning on going over on Saturday and running with these guys and see if you can't maybe go and, take some more wins over there?
Well, I'll let y'all in on something. I'll be an admin at that league. So yes, I will definitely be there. I am one of the guys that will be helping Ken out, and when Ken's not there, I'll be helping take lead and making sure things are getting done that's needing to get done on a weekly basis. So me and you all will probably be talking about every week there.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, I was going to try to get to the admin meeting, but yesterday was my birthday. I was out at the dinner, and I couldn't make that. I wanted to go in just to be there talking with them, just to basically listen to see what the series was going to be. Helps me out, learn a little bit more about it, but I couldn't make it. So, well, congratulations on doing that. I think it's going to be a great thing on Saturday nights.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a great group of guys that come out. I'm kind of looking forward to maybe merging some of these guys back together like we originally had. Of course, I'm not going to mention the league that we all started in, just for the fact of the way that things ended and everything. So, but I think that we've got a lot of good racers that want to come out on Saturday nights. I think that it's going to be a lot of competition out there. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be back to where we was at maybe 2.5, 3 years ago, where we've got knockout qualifying. So we're just going to look forward to what we've got, and we're gonna move forward from all the stuff that's been going on. So
that is awesome. Blaine, do you have anything for Garland Oaks?
Yeah, rolling back to that pit stop, that final pit stop, we're watching Seth Cole lead you guys in there, and he kind of overdrove a little bit and had to kind of wheel that thing to prevent from, wrecking it in the grass. He held on to it. Phenomenal save by him, but that just opened the door for you to get right in and out of there in first place, man. Like, were you worried he might come back across? And I'm always wondering, like, what the thought is, because you needed to nail that pit stop, and you did, to get the win.
Not really. Not with Seth. I mean, most of them out there, like I said, we go over to NNSCRA and we do racing over there. So I'm very familiar with racing with Cody. I'm very familiar with racing with Seth and Levi and Matt and all. So I know these guys can drive the car. Seth really, I mean, even though he's keyboard king, he doesn't scare me like some people do, because I've raced enough with him side by side for 50, 60 laps at a super speedway that I know he's going to control his car, and he's not going to try to intentionally take somebody else out trying to keep control of his car. So
yeah, he's good. I just saw that and was like, whoa, he made an awesome save gathering that thing up, which just opened the door for you.
Yeah, you ought to see some of the stuff that we pull over there, because we're not broadcasted. And yeah, let's just say hot pitting is a whole nother ball game over there. Sometimes I'll cross that line at 90 miles an hour. So,
wow. Well, hey, it worked.
As long as you get the brakes on right, you're good.
Now, this is shaping up to be an awesome finish, man. And yeah, we're looking forward to this. We're trying to keep track of all the numbers, and then how fast Talladega happens, it all changes in a split second anyway.
Well, I'm sure some trash talking will come about, when we get to that final race and y'all start interviewing us, because Brian's also going to be an admin on Saturday night. So I guarantee some of these meetings following up to where our final race is here, we're going to do some trash talking. So
awesome.
All right. Well, Garland, I'm going to give you a chance to thank the people you want to thank that got you here. So the floor is yours.
Thank you, fellas. Well, let's see. First and foremost, that number 41 to Danny Carroll. He helped me put it in victory lane tonight. So we give a shout out to Denny. And then I'd like to give a shout out, of course, to Team Wrecking Ball. Ulysses had my back all night also. He kind of got moved a little bit out on that final series of laps there and got bumped out of line. But he had my back right up until that point and was making sure that we was going to be able to stick it up front. I'd like to give a shout out. My wife let me race again, so give a shout out to Latondra, a shout out to the kids, John David, Alex Miguel, and Ashlyn Noel. And give a shout out to you, Rod, for your birthday yesterday. Happy birthday! Shout out to you. Shout out to you, Blaine, for coming out and putting Tarnation TV together and letting Rod broadcast in the booth with you. And fellas, we will see you all next week.
All right, there you go. Your current, second maybe points leader. We don't know it close.
Official results, man. It's going to be tight, but yeah, you're putting on a show, and we're loving it.
Carolyn Oaks, your winner tonight. Congrats, bud.
I'm gonna get one more thing out to y'all because y'all mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. So I'm gonna let you know about this paint scheme. This paint scheme is actually the same paint scheme that was run on the 67 car by Buddy Arrington in 1990. So it matches the mod. I think he ran it in 88 also. It matches the mod. That's the reason why I run the paint scheme over here on this. And I worked for Buddy. I swept his shop and stuff for him when he was running NASCAR. So
oh, no way.
Yes. And so I actually told Joey when I was going to switch numbers from the 95 to the 67, I went to Joey, his son, and said, can I run that 67? Would it be okay? And he said, yes, sir.
Oh,
and
cool.
so I've run it ever since.
I just did a Google image search on it. It's exactly the same. That's awesome.
and what I'll do, fellas, for you is I will see if I can go get a picture of the actual car. So y'all have it because I can get the actual car picture because it sits in Joey's garage. It's up here in Martinsville. So
no way, you still got it.
Yeah, so I can go get you an actual picture of it sitting in the garage up there.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's fantastic. I'm going to show the broadcast right now. How can I do this? I got the cat browser somehow. No.
Yep. Shout out to Javier because Javier is the one that found the actual paint scheme and everything and put it on the car for me.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. Yeah, because then you would have to, because it was an 88 or whatever it is.
It's pretty much, he ran either this car, he ran a red and blue one. And the red and blue scheme is the final day that when he passed away, NASCAR did a tribute during their daily news story stuff. They were all wearing gear from where when he raced and everything. So they were all wearing 67 gear, and it was all the blue and red and had the 67 numbers on it and everything. So he was very respected. He never won a race. The closest he come was third at Talladega. He brought home $30,000 for that race. You would have thought that we'd done hit the lottery and everything at $30,000. It's nothing compared to what they do now, but it was big time back then. 1988, $30,000 going to a small team like his, that was big money. So
yeah, wild.
That's very cool. All right, well, we're gonna take you out of here, Garland. But congratulations on winning tonight. Thanks for getting us caught up on that paint scheme and information and stuff. And looking forward to seeing you next week and see maybe you can come back and win this thing again.
We're gonna see if we can put it back up on top next week.
All right, thank you, buddy.
Let's do it.
Good job. That was pretty cool. Been running so strong, so just kind of getting up there, and all of a sudden he finally comes out with the win that he deservedly got tonight.
All right, we got it. There it is. So, show the broadcast here what that looks like, and that's a neat. Not working. No, that's not working.
The neat tribute.
There it is.
The neat tribute. Yeah. Oh, that is freaking cool.
Yeah, I messed up the source there. I had to.
Yeah, yeah, at least you got it up there. That was kind of cool. So
that's kind of neat how they found that and made it happen and stuck it on the car, and it's the 67 and everything. That's so cool. And he said he still got that thing in the garage.
That is crazy.
I'm like, oh yeah, you don't need to give me a picture. I can go on Google and Google the picture. No, he's saying he can get us an actual picture. He can walk in there with his cell phone and actually just push, like bring up the camera and actually text it to us. Like, that's pretty neat.
It's
a
very
good little
cool.
homage to was it Buddy Arrington? Is that what he said?
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Buddy Arrington, Vintage NASCAR, 1986 Ford Thunderbird Pro Stock. Buddy Arrington, Vintage NASCAR owner driver. Yeah,
very cool.
Cool little info there. I think we heard about that tribute before, but
yeah. Well, we've asked him. I asked him just because he's part of Team Wrecking Ball. Team Wrecking Ball always runs Toyotas. Obviously, this is the Aero 88. I'm sure somebody could probably make up, a Toyota. Template for it.
Find a Corolla from '88.
And I was giving him a hard time because Ulysses Sandoval, I think he's one of they all usually always run kind of the similar cars, all these Toyotas, is running in a Pontiac. So I gave Garland a hard time about that. I was like, one of you guys has got this wrong here. You guys always run the same car, kind of this. And then he had said something about the story in a few broadcasts back when I started giving him a hard time about it. So he had to bring it up again tonight.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really neat. I like that stuff. Going off of, and it's hard to, I love painting cars, but then the requests to duplicate something that actually existed, I'm way more not focused. Like, you're always focused on it, but you're way more aware of making a mistake. Like if you forget a decal, it's like, it's not the exact same thing. It's got to be perfect.
I've done that. I actually had a guy that wanted me to do modifieds, but basically his family and friends years ago had race modifieds, and we're not talking the modifieds of today. We're talking the old ones where they didn't have the little front valence on it. You just basically had a bumper, some screen, and a radiator, and a flat top. And he was like, "Can you make these up?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I literally made like openings on the sides of it. So I had to literally paint an engine in there to make it look like one of the old cars. And I've still got them on a hard drive. They came out pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat. Yeah, that's cool. I've done a couple. Bob Sire actually asked me to design one for him. But he was more using that car as inspiration for another one. Like, he wanted it. It was the Army car, but I think it was his son or his nephew or something that he wanted the camo pattern changed to what he had, and wanted the division or the squadron that he was in, like, wanted all that stuff changed. So it's like, I want you to lean on this design, but I also want it to be unique because we want to customize it for this kid. Or I can't remember who it was now. It was his nephew, his son, or something. And so I did it up, and he drives it. I think it was what mod was that for? I think that was for the Xfinity 2020, I think.
Yep.
But so probably an RTG car. But yeah, it's cool to kind of do that stuff for people. It's neat. But anyway, congratulations to Alan Oaks on an awesome win. Like, once we get these official points results, tune in next week for more information on that. It's just going to be awesome.
Absolutely. And tune in tomorrow night. Are we there yet? 8 o'clock. Tarnation TV Turbo.
Yep.
To watch the ever-going saga from Blaine's eyes of us idiots trying to get an RV through treacherous woods area.
Yep. And it's, all with the physics involved in that game, it's pretty fun. So yeah, if you want to hang out with us tomorrow, links, fresh link in the description below. It's down a little bit. First couple links you're going to find are tarnationtv.com, and of course the top link you're going to see in the descriptions for the Racing League, the All-Star Racing League. Thanks a lot, of course, to ASR for having us in here to do this. David Chin posted in the YouTube chat. They're not 100% sure they're even closing down Sunday nights yet, so we might still. The Aero 88 series may continue, and because they're changing to the Monster Energy 19 Cup mod for the Saturday race. So
And
they'll
I
run
think
the
it'd be
Manx 19 on Saturday and then run the 88 on Sunday. Might be a thing.
Yeah, and they were talking possibly when this all started coming about. I know you're involved in it, but I get actual phone calls from Brian, and just to try to get my opinion on what they should do, because they have been working in the background on this Saturday night deal ever since our Garland put down. Somebody had taken his ball and went home. So they said, well, there's an opening. Let's start talking about it. And they were talking about maybe still doing the Aero 88s, but possibly doing maybe 10 sprint races, or they're just throwing down a bunch of different ideas. It's something that would be not necessarily off the wall, but something just a little different that the guys can come in and have some fun with. So
on some of those special events they came up with, like I remember Ken Roberts had that King of Kings, and that thing was insane. It ended up being like a 3-4 hour broadcast, but man, there was a lot of racing.
It's like the Mega Marathon, the very first one we did was almost 4 hours.
Yeah, the team races. Like there's a lot of different cool things that these guys have come up with over the years that we've been, lucky enough to broadcast and work with them on it. And it's like, man, you could take this game where you're like, let's get on the track and race. Okay, but how can we change this? What do you mean? Well, look what we've done. Look what all these guys have done, all these different leagues we've worked with. It's just the amount of like SMO, the bash race coming up. No yellows, no damage, let it rip. Like wait, what? Yeah. There's literally so many different ways, multiple race nights and team race nights and custom paint jobs, so you can see where your teammates are.
And the other thing,
and then point structures with no playoffs. Some leagues run the playoff races. It's just a lot of work behind the scenes, but it's cool.
There's other leagues out there that just do, there's leagues out there that do races where you're limited on the amount of tires you can run, or when you can take tires, and people are just keep thinking of different ways to try to come up with something different, and it's pretty cool that they do that.
Yeah, it's an endless, this game, it's an old simulator, but it's very, very versatile. So, yeah, as always, apparently it is, because we're broadcasting it. We figured out a way to do that too. So thanks everybody for watching. Who does watch live, it's awesome. Whoever watches a replay is equally as awesome. Rod Weston, thank you very much for co-hosting.
For having me.
And like I said, David Chin, Bryant Motorsports, Bryant Motorsports Auto Sales.
Yes, we go.
Thanks to the sponsorship, David Chin, of course, Brian Wolf at Fluid Studios, everybody watching, all the drivers. You know who you are. Thank you very much. If the women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy. Keep your stick on the ice.